Surprise! I'm Scotty, you're not, and welcome to Stephen King Saturday Night. I told you guys I was gonna do Stephen King Saturday Nights once in a while. You're actually gonna get two. You're gonna get this one this week. So you're gonna get. I'm here to. And I should tell you, I'm here to do the review for the new Firestarter movie, and you're gonna get the new one this week. You're gonna get the original next week. Doing it reverse. And I have never seen the original, so I'm going on just, sometimes it's good to just go into a movie. There are a lot of remakes that I saw having not seen the original. The Friday the 13th remake. I had not seen the original Friday the 13th. I'd seen a bunch of other ones. I hadn't seen the original. Red Dawn. That remake. Haven't seen the original. I watched part of the Footloose remake. Never seen the original of that one. I know. Planet of the Apes. I saw the Tim Burton movie. Saw Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Had never seen the original. So sometimes that can be good. Sometimes when you watch a movie, you could just take it and you can say, hey, I can take it for what it is. Now, I will admit I have looked online at the actors that they chose to portray the characters in the original, because I wanted to know, I was a little curious with some of the casting in this, a couple of the castings. I knew that Drew Barrymore was the original Charlie, but I wanted to know, just how 2022 they made this film. And yeah, there was some politically correct castings in this film. We're going to get to that in it's not really negatives, it's more nitpicks. We're going to get to that when I get to talking about the negatives, because it's not really negative, it's a nitpick, but just like, why do you have to keep doing this? Because I don't know. And I've never read the book. Stephen King's books, I have It, that's it. That's the only book I have, and I haven't read that. I've read the 2 pages. That's it. Before I get into it though, let's open this Kiki Start. I haven't had these in a while, so every once in a while I'll have one. I'm on a diet, but every once in a while it's okay. Alright, so basic synopsis for Firestarter is there's this couple when they were in college. They were experimented on by this government agency called the Shop. Years later, they have a daughter who starts to show some pyrokinetic powers. And this, eventually, her powers cause the Shop to find them, and they dispatch an assassin to try to take them in, or assassin, or whatever, which results in the father and the daughter being on the run, trying to escape the Shop. Basic premise. And yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about is the score in this movie. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you how I found out. Now, I heard about this movie coming out. Had no interest at all. I don't really care. Maybe when it came to DVD, I'd check it out. But 2 things swayed me. So, first, and I guess I ought to thank Cody Leach, because it was both his quick thoughts and his review that made me want to check this movie out. I don't know, he's probably going to say, not everyone's going to like this movie. And I'm going to say right now, this is probably controversial, because I've watched a few reviews, and there are not a lot of good ones. I liked this movie. I thought this movie was decent. I thought it was decent. Decently made. Good acting. There's some good acting in this. I didn't hate this. I thought it was good. Having not seen the original, read the book, I thought it was good. So, what was I talking about? Right, so the first quick thoughts on it. He said, check it out on Peacock. And I'm like, what's on Peacock? And so then I watched his review this morning before I went to work. And he dropped this bombshell on my head that I didn't know about. John Carpenter and Cody Carpenter did the score for this movie. And that right away told me I have to watch this movie. Now, I had to do Army of Darkness first because I needed that to be recorded for Sunday. So that's done. That's in the can. You'll get that tomorrow. There you go. But then I watched this after that was uploaded, like right away after it was uploaded. I watched it on my phone on the Peacock app. The score in this it's John Carpenter. Of course, it's fantastic. It reminds me a little bit of The Shape Hunts Allison from Halloween 2018. But I don't want to say better, but it's different enough. And it plays throughout the film, and I thought it was really good. And even if you didn't know, like, it started playing and I went, even if I just decided to check this out and I heard that, I'd be like, wait a minute, check my phone. That's John Carpenter. It has to be. I know his scores. I love his scores. I've been listening to, I have a playlist. I don't know if it's public, but I have a playlist with a bunch of his scores. A couple of them aren't his scores, like The Thing was Ennio Morricone, and I think there was another one that wasn't him. But there's some good scores, right? It's basically just for John Carpenter movies scores. Fantastic score. And Zac Efron. He plays Andy in this. And a lot of people hate on Zac Efron because he was the High School Musical guy, right? And it's unfair that most of what he gets are stupid-ass comedies like Neighbors or Baywatch, because he could do so much more. You want a good dramatic role? Watch That Awkward Moment. It's a little drama movie with him, Imogen Poots, Jessica Lucas, and Michael B. Jordan. It's about relationships. It's a good movie. I've only ever watched it once, but I remember it being pretty good. He's good in it. I have a Blu-ray. I bought it from Family Video on a whim, and I enjoyed it. Don't know why I haven't watched it since. There are a lot of movies I'll watch once and not watch for a while, and then watch them again and wonder why I haven't watched them sooner. Watch them again sooner. So these are movies I'll buy and not watch, and then when I finally watch them, I'll be like, why didn't I watch it before? That was pretty good. Zac Efron is really good in this movie. He has the emotional range. When stuff happens, you can tell that he is angry or sad. He gets that emotion out. I also like the actress who played the daughter, Charlie. I thought she was good. She's good at this kid who's just trying to figure out what's going on, The actress who played the mom is Jack Lemmon's granddaughter, I think. You don't know Jack Lemmon from The Odd Couple, the movie, and not the TV show. Grumpy Old Men. It's his granddaughter. I thought she doesn't have a big part in the movie, but she's pretty good. I liked the concept, and I know it's been overdone and done better, but I've liked the concept. Like, take Heroes. I like the concept of people having powers and coming into those powers and discovering what they can do with them. I like that kind of thing. That's why I like The Flash and Heroes and stuff like that, where they try to learn about their powers. And the whole government agency thing reminds me of Heroes, because they had the company, this is the shop, kind of similar names if you think about it, only there's another guy with horn-rimmed glasses tracking him. It's a Native American, which we'll talk about. Yeah. And the guy, I don't know the actor's name. The guy that plays Irv, I've seen him in something, I don't know what. I thought he was really good. They make you question his motives, because he picks them up, and he has the ability to push thoughts in people's minds. Very much like Push. But And again, that's another movie that I liked. A lot of people were down on because of the concept. I stand up for that movie. I defend that movie. I think it's a pretty damn good film. Just like this one. I think Push is better, to be honest, but this is still not bad. They trick you with Irv because Andy pushes, so make him think that a $1 bill is a $100 bill. Does it wear off? I don't know. It never wears off, as far as we can see. And so you could take us to Boston or wherever they need to go. And, we could stop at my house. And then he tells his wife that they're there, but she doesn't come out. Then Charlie finds his wife, and she's like paralyzed, can't talk. But Charlie can read her mind because she's psychic. And I thought, this is going to be like a trap or something. That he's actually a bad guy. They didn't go that way. He's actually sympathetic. He caused a car accident that killed his son and paralyzed his wife. And, you get Charlie saying that the wife forgives him for it. And this is what makes him change his mind, because he sees the report. The shop has lied and said he's like that. Okay, so gotta go back. Rainbird, the Native American guy, shows up and holds the wife hostage, kills her, and then tries to hold Charlie hostage, but Andy breaks his rule of pushing his daughter to burn him, but it doesn't really work, I guess. And they're able to escape. And so the shop makes the fake story up where it was Andy. Andy's just a cover name and his real name is different. I don't know. Killed his wife. But that's not what happened. And they convince him otherwise. But Rainbird shows up and kills everyone anyway, so that's kind of pointless. But it allows Charlie to freak out. She's able to escape, but Andy is taken hostage. So here's why we're going to do a little nitpicking and talk about the original actors versus these actors. So, I don't know what the character of Rainbird was supposed to be in the book. If he was supposed to be Native American in the book or not, I didn't look that up. But in the original film, he was played by Martin Sheen. And here, he's played by someone I've never seen before ever. I don't know who this actor is. Never seen him before. And he's Native American. Nothing against that. But I feel like the producers or the casting director saw the name Rainbird and said, hey, that sounds Native American. Did they not watch the original? Martin Sheen's not Native American. Or no, not Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen plays the director. Who is the original? Fuck. I forgot who it was. It wasn't Martin Sheen played the original director. The original who's played by an African American actress. So I'll talk about that. They cast the African American lady from ER. One of them. I think there's a couple of them on it. They had a very diverse cast on ER. Eric LaSalle, Nassim Pedrad. Was that her name? No, that's SNL. The Indian woman who's in a lot of stuff. I don't remember her name. She's been in like Psych and stuff. There's another African American actor on there. They had a very diverse cast actually on that show. Ahead of its time, maybe. Here they brought in her to play the new director. And originally was played in Martin Sheen. And I think if you want a director, you want to get someone with that firm, the firm acting performance. And she just didn't sell it for me. Not that she was a woman, not that she was African American, but just the actress herself didn't seem gruff enough. Now, take this, and not just because he's a man, but they had Red Foreman, Clarence Boddicker himself, what's his name? Kurtwood Smith in this movie, and they wasted him. And at the beginning, when they're showing you what happened in the past, you hear his narration, and you hear him talking to them, and you think he's gonna be the big bad guy. No, his character is he's just a guy in a retirement home and this new lady is in charge. Despite his age, I think he would have had a more gruff performance and delivered a more villainous performance and role if it was him. Not just because he was a man, not just because he's white, but because of the actor has experience. He was Clarence fucking Bonnaker in RoboCop. He's the reason RoboCop existed. He killed the fuck out of Peter Weller in that movie. And you sideline him for her. Why? Oh, because we can make money off the female demographic and the African American demographic. And why do you think we have Rainbird? We can make money off the Native American demographic. I wish I can remember who played Rainbird in the original. No, it wasn't. I know it wasn't an African. It wasn't an African or a Native American actor, but it bugs me who it was. If you're wondering, David Keith played the character of Andy in the original. I've only seen him in a couple things. Nothing to say about him, but I just feel like those two castings in particular were the let's make money quota of the film. Like, you could have, like, and I will say this: if you had a good actor or actress, it wouldn't matter what their race is, what their sexual orientation is. But the fact is, the actress who plays this supposed big bad leader of the shop doesn't come off as menacing at all. If it had been Kurtwood Smith, or even someone else, even if you got a woman, Sigourney Weaver. You got Sigourney Weaver, she could have done a good job. You want someone of color? Why can't I think of anyone? Oh, what's her name? I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. She was in, what was she in? I can't think, man. I don't know. Zoe Saldana? She can be gruff if she wants. You get an actress. What about, like, someone like Whoopi Goldberg? I know that it's a tough choice, but if she was to come up there, she has the gruffness to play a role like this. I'm just saying. I can't remember who I was trying to think of, but I'm just saying there are other actresses you could use. This actress, to me, didn't come off as menacing. And the actor who played Rainbird, to me, was meh. If you want to cast a Native American, what about the guy from Doctor Sleep? You know, the guy, the husband, one of those people, that guy. I forgot his name. He could have been good I thought he would be good. And there was another Stephen King adaptation he could have been in. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be white people. I don't remember who played. You know what? It's bugging me. Hold on. Hold on. One moment, please. Okay, hold on. It's bugging me, and I have to figure out. Let it load. This will be a longer review, and that's okay. I got a little more movie to talk about after this, so please stay. And I didn't get my rating. I want to lay it out. Who played character? Man, why does it do that? Wait. going to Wikipedia. Okay. '84 film. Cashed. Okay. So, it was George C. Scott. George C. Scott. Wow. How could I forget him? As far as I know, he's not Native American. But again, think of that. Think of Martin Sheen and George C. Scott. If you've seen the original, if you haven't seen the original, think of what performances they can give over what these two can give. They were kind of meh in this film. And I do think that there was a lot of building towards the end of the film for it to just sort of fizzle out in the end, because there's this whole thing where they're trying to get away and Andy is captured, so she naturally has to then go to the shop to get him. Well, she gets there, she kills this guy, we get a call back, and because earlier in the film, she accidentally kills a cat, and I felt something with that, alright? I felt something with that. Like, no roast the kitty, no roast the kitty. And she did. And, yeah. But he teaches her to put it out of its misery. So, later when she burns this guy on accident because he says he doesn't have a gun, but when he points the gun, she freaks out and burns him. You say you didn't have a gun, and I can put you out of your misery, and she burns him. Yes, there's a lot of cutaways, but I don't necessarily think you need gruesome deaths in this. I know it's called Firestarter, and I know a lot of people say, well, you need to have gruesome. No, you don't really. It's just the thought of it, you know? To me, that's bad enough. Someone who hates fire, deathly afraid of fire. It's enough. It's enough, believe me. So yeah, she gets in there, they let her in, and then she's at a standstill. The doctor has the dad, and the dad basically pushes her to send the whole place down in flames. So she sets the doctor, and by virtue of that, because the doctor is holding on to the dad dies. The whole place goes in flame, and then the Native American guy, Rainbird, shows up because he helped her escape, because there's these people in fireproof suits that show up, and they... Now here's the thing, though. They start the sprinklers, right? And it takes Rainbird coming to save her, right? The problem is, they showed earlier in the film that she can make water boiling. She does that from the sink. So why doesn't she do that with the sprinkler water? Rainbird shows up, takes them out, then they walk out together, and it ends with the score. And that's where, like, the movie kind of out for me. It fizzled out, ironically, because it was just a lot of build up for the ending to just fizzle out and not really have much. It's like we're building up to this big showdown, and then, oh, we ran out of time. Do all this. Just doesn't... There's not a lot of satisfaction, but it wasn't satisfying. But I will say, overall, I did enjoy it. Would I watch it again? Maybe. I'm definitely, if they really... And I know it's on Peacock as well as theaters, so if it's also in theaters, if Halloween Kills got a Blu-ray, when it comes on Blu-ray, most likely I'll buy it. I'm a Stephen King nut, but when it comes to this, I'm gonna give it a middle of the road. It just, there were some good parts. For me, the good outweighs the bad, but it's just middle of the road. That's all I can say. So What are your thoughts on the new Firestarter? The new comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.